morning, you guys. My name is Megan. Welcome to my channel. This is This Past Romance. This is the place that I talk to you guys about romance books that I've been reading. And today's video is me talking about romance books that I have actually read in the month of April. There are not a lot, so just a disclaimer, maybe 7 or 8. I read a lot of fan fiction this month, and we're not going to talk about it. Outside of me saying that, we're not talking about what kind of fan fiction I read. We're not talking about where I read it. We're not going to talk about any of that. I'm just here to talk to you about traditionally published books, either digital or physical, that I read that were not fan fiction. So, I don't want to ramble too long in the introduction, but it's been a while, so bear with me. I wanted to do these in ranking order, but because there are so few, I'm not going to. First book I want to talk about, the first 5 books I want to talk about, I have talked about in a capacity. I've talked about them in my Chris Evans vlog and how Chris Evansy they were. Today I'm going to talk about them in the capacity of how much I actually liked the book. And I want to start off with the book that I wanted to like the most and I had the most trouble with. And that is Not the Girl You Marry by Andy J. Christopher. This book was not bad by any means. Okay? This book was not bad. It was well written. I enjoyed it. But I hated reading it. I struggled so hard. This is the book that inspired my Chris Evans video, where I, said here are these 5 books. If you like Chris Evans, read them. This book was the catalyst because of Katie Robert. If you've not seen that video, it's in the cards. But Katie Robert recommended this book because Jack Nolan made her think of Chris Evans, and I totally get that. I do. I think my problem was that by the time I actually finished the book, Chris Evans was not my hyperfixation anymore. And so Jack was almost too sweet for me. But I did enjoy the book. It's just my least favorite that I read this month because I struggled with it so hard. It is a gender swapped How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Jack is a columnist or a journalist for almost a BuzzFeed type company. And he does like the Try Guys videos and just like little quick snippets and writes little quick articles. And his boss tells him he has to basically get a girl to fall in love with him, I think. It's been a while since I've read it. But he then meets Hannah. And Hannah is an event planner and she wants to get into planning weddings. And her boss tells her that she needs to get a serious boyfriend in order to plan weddings. So she's using Jack, Jack is using her, essentially, but neither of them know it. And they meet, and they have like a meet cute almost, and it's really sweet. It's a really good book. It really was, but for whatever reason, I just didn't enjoy it. It's like a 3. I'm going to give it a 3 because he's so Chris Evans, but if I was not convinced that this man is based on Chris Evans, it would be like a 2.5 too. Just because I couldn't get into it for whatever reason. And like I tried. You can see that I tried. Some of the highlights that I didn't hit in my Chris Evans video from this book is that Hannah talks to herself. And my sticky note here says, "It's okay, Hannah, I talk to myself too." There's fake dating involved. Is what that sticky note said. Also, Hannah kind of made me mad because she took zero responsibility for her part. So like she gets really upset with Jack, which I totally understand, and she had every right to get really upset, but she was doing the same thing and he didn't know it. So when she found out what he was doing, she got really upset. And again, she had every right to, but I feel like she would have had more of a right to be as upset as she was if she wasn't also just using him for a promotion. And maybe that's just me, and maybe I'm in the wrong, but that's how I felt. So I felt like she was a lot, and it was just shitty both ways. Like there's no other way to say it. This is like a 2.5, honest 2.5 for me, but I gave it a 3 because Jack Nolan is based on Chris Evans, and until Andy J. Christopher comes out and says it, you can't convince me otherwise. Next book on my list, Defending Jacob by William Landay. I read it because it's Defending Jacob. Defending Jacob is probably my favorite thing Chris Evans has ever done. Infinity War Captain America looks wise is the greatest thing. Or Ari from the Red Sea Diving Resort. The long hair and the beard. Oh, that is my favorite Chris Evans. Physically. Andy Barber is my favorite character he's ever played. He's deep. Him and Frank Adler, they are up there. They are deep, complex characters. And it's really interesting to see this person that you know as Steve Rogers. So to see him as this, as Andy Barber. Chris Evans has obviously gotten older as I've gotten older. But 38, I think he was 38 when they filmed Defending Jacob. 37, 38. That Chris Evans, read it. If you're not triggered by much, read it. I will tell you, or watch the miniseries. The miniseries is fantastic. And from what I understand, the miniseries is pretty similar to the book. From my experience. This book was rated number 3 on my list. I give it a 3.5. I liked the miniseries better. But I'm not a visual person. In the sense of like when I read my books, I view imagery in my brain when I'm reading. But I am a visual person in the sense that I paid more attention. Because I also listened to this on audio. I paid more attention because it was Chris Evans. So 3.5. It was really good. Trigger warnings for two murders in the book, not in the show. In the show there's technically 2 murders, but one's the murder of a pedophile. Take that for what you will. There's a 14-year-old murdered, and the book is based around that. And Jacob's involvement. Jacob's Andy's son. So if you're triggered by stuff like that, don't read it. Don't read it. I would hate to think that someone read a book because of me and it triggered them and it upset them. So if you think you're going to be triggered by child murders, there's knives. This is set in the early 2000s, so the social media aspect is a little different. And I think that's what I liked better about the miniseries, because it was more updated. And there was like Instagram and stuff versus Facebook, I think is what they use in here. Again, it's been a while. There's also a plot twist at the end. And I don't remember if it ended the same way in the book as it did in the show. So, there are multiple murders in the book. In the show, there's only 2. In the book, there are multiple. So, trigger warning for murder. Just a blanket trigger warning for murder. Also, the murder of like preteens and like early teens. Next book on my list I'm going to talk about is Accidentally Engaged by Farrah Heron. This book gets a 4. This is a 4-star. They ended up going in order anyway, so it didn't even matter. Physically anyway. This book follows Rena and Nadeem, and Rena's dad has basically arranged a marriage for her with Nadeem, but she doesn't know it, and Nadeem doesn't realize it's her when they first meet. They have a really cute meet cute. Trigger warnings for odd fetishes. Also fade to black sex scenes. So if you're looking for the spicy, it's not here. You're not going to get the spicy. It's not in this book. Doesn't mean it's a bad book. Does not mean it's a bad book. Just means you're not going to get the spice. We're all suppressing deep feelings and trauma. No one can support each other. And no one can support each other like a family should. You can't read it. It's this dude's same. There's another one. This is my favorite. And I was talking to Tamika, I think right after I read this line, or right around the time I read it. It might have been the next day. But it says, the effing house is on fire and you're that idiotic dog with a cup of coffee saying this is fine. It's not fine. I don't have it with me, but I have that on a water bottle. I have the dog saying this is fine on a water bottle because I say this is fine all the time. To the point that I had to stop saying it because my brother made fun of me. It's really cute, and I can't, there are some things that I want to tell you guys about it that I can't because it'll spoil it. But towards the end, Rena kind of figures out that this view of her family that she always had, and this is why I enjoyed this book as much as I did. She realizes that this view of her family that she's had for so long and the way that they are is not actually how they are. Towards the end of the book, she figures out that her mom is a human. And that she has secrets from her dad that she thinks her dad doesn't know. But then she finds out her dad actually does know, and her dad's like, I don't care. Like, if that's what makes your mom happy, That's what makes her happy. And it's nothing bad. It just goes against like the values that she grew up with as a Muslim woman. There were things she grew up, you know, told that she couldn't do for religious reasons. And she finds out her mom's been doing some of them. And she's like, oh my God, Mom. And her mom's like, it's fine. You know, I told you I took this trip to the Holy Land or something. And I went to Vegas. Like, it's funny to me because I could see that happening. Like, it's like that moment you realize my parents are people too. My parents are just like me. They're going to make mistakes. And they're not these perfect, invincible people. And that's okay. And it was really cool to see her figure that out. It was really cool to see. And I really appreciated that. Alright, let's talk about Saved by the Movie Star by Michelle Pennington. I hated this book. I'm so sorry, Michelle Pennington. This is like a 2-star read. She took all of the Chris's and rolled them into one person named Chris. So any actor, basically, I understood it to be any Chris that's ever played a superhero. So Hemsworth, Pratt, Evans, obviously, Chris Pine. Basically all of those guys rolled into one person, which is fine. Totally cool. I get it. Again, most of April was reading fan fiction. I totally get it. I'm here for it. But there was a lot I felt like that needed to be explored more that I was just supposed to accept. Like, I was supposed to accept that this actress was just a terror to work with. Not I don't remember what her name is. Not the girl that we're shown. Like, not the one going through the motions and dating the Chris and doing the movie with Chris that you're reading about. But his ex-girlfriend Kim. I'm supposed to believe she's as crazy as she is. And as they say she is, to go as far as she was willing to go, and no one had ever thought of it before, I guess. Because, like, you know, you always hear rumors about, like, actresses, and, like Katherine Heigl, like, they say she's awful to work with, and this, that, and the other. Like, you hear those things go around, and we don't always have confirmation of that. But I'm supposed to believe that she was that awful for so long, and no one talked about it. No. You hear these things. Like, it's not hard to find. The internet is free. Or the internet's not free, but Google's free. 2-star read. It wasn't bad. I would be willing to give Michelle Pennington another shot and read something else that she wrote. But this felt very much like a fan fiction turned into a novel. But she didn't change the mail. So, and the last book I read for this Chris Evans vlog was Tikka Chance on Me. And actually, this is really funny. Izzy at Happy For Now posted a TikTok and had this book in her TikTok. And Tamika at Library of Tomes, who's actually like my real life best friend, tagged me in it. And I was like, yeah, this was in my Chris Evans video. Like, it's there. You're welcome. I've already read it. It was a novella and it was cute. I really liked it. I know it was number 5 in the Chris Evans video. It was like the least Chris Evans. I didn't get really Chris Evans vibes from the main guy from Trucker. But the book itself was really cute. Trucker he was undercover as Trucker. And then he has to go into the witness protection program. And his name, he ends up picking, was like Tyler Buchanan Barnes. And I love Bucky. I love Bucky Barnes. So that, like, it was just really cute. It was like 70 pages. It was super cute, super sweet. Like, definitely 4 out of 5 just for what it was. I'm still trying to figure out how I rank books and how I, like, give my 5 stars. But that book was really, really cute, and I would read it again. It was just last on my list because, like, Trucker didn't strike me as Chris Evans-y. Do with that information what you will. I also listened to on audio this month. I don't have a physical copy of it to hold up for you. I have it on my Kindle though, and that is Crazy Stupid Bromance. I finally finished it. I listened to it in like January, and I had about 2 hours left, and I finally finished it last week. So it only took an hour, but you know, super cute. Mac is still my favorite. Noah's really cute and really sweet, but he was almost too sweet. And I understood why he was the way he was. Like, don't get me wrong, Mac is still my favorite. Mac, specifically in book 1, is my favorite Mac. Book 2 is Mac's book, Undercover Bromance, and I loved it too. I can't tell you how excited I am for book 4. I pre-ordered that thing in November. Isn't it bromantic? The Russian. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read the Russian's book. That's not what this is about, but that's what I'm excited for. It comes out in July, and I'm really pumped. So, there's the 6 books that I read in April. Please know that I am terrible. And, between school and working a full-time job, and now my nephew plays baseball. So, several days a week are now dedicated to going to baseball games and being Aunt May. Where's my, here it is. Going to baseball games and being Aunt May. I look the way I do today because we had a baseball game today. And if you're curious, they won and my nephew got 3 runs in. So, there's that. But yeah, that's all for me. If I left a book off, I'll update you in my May wrap up. But I don't think I did. I started a book and I didn't finish it. That's what I'm thinking of. I've started a couple of books. And they're not DNF'd. I just haven't finished them yet. So, yeah. That's it for me, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. My socials are down below. Hit me up on one of those. If you read any of these books, tag me. Let me know. I'd love to know if you read them. I'll have a discussion about them with you. Happily. If you want to discuss these books, let me know. Comment. We can have a discussion in the comments down below. We can have a discussion on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want. You can reach me anywhere. And I'll be so happy to talk about them with you. So, with all that being said, take care of yourself. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.